All right, have you ever felt like you're just spinning your wheels? You know you're supposed to be making progress, but nothing's really happening. Well, we're about to dive into a super powerful 5-pillar framework that's all about moving forward, especially when you're the only one keeping yourself on track.
And this, right here, this question gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? How do you actually get things done when you're all on your own? When there's no boss looking over your shoulder, no teacher giving you deadlines? How do you keep yourself from just getting stuck?
You know, if that feeling sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. It's this feeling of paralyzing chaos that comes from having no outside guidance. You don't even know where to start, right? But the good news is, there's a framework, a really clear path forward through all that noise. And that's exactly what we're going to break down.
Okay, so the very first step out of that chaos is pillar number 1, create your own structure. I want you to think of this as the blueprint for your progress. It's what turns that big, empty, confusing space into a real construction site with a solid plan.
And this really shows the difference, you know? When you don't have a structure, you're constantly burning energy on tiny decisions. What should I do now? Is this the right thing? But with a structure, all that decision fatigue just disappears. It's not about being a robot. It's about creating a simple, predictable rhythm that builds momentum for you. So how do you actually do it? Well, it boils down to 4 pretty simple but really powerful actions. First, get your sleep consistent. Same time to bed, same time to wake up. It sets your internal clock. Then, block out time for your most important work. Decide beforehand what a win for the day looks like. And finally, use dead simple tools like a checklist or a calendar. See, nothing complicated here, but this is what turns that emotional guesswork into actual predictable progress. All right, once you have your structure, you need to fill it with action. And that brings us to pillar 2. Take embarrassingly small steps. And I absolutely love that word, embarrassingly, because it just nails the mindset. We think progress has to be this huge leap, but this pillar says, nope, think smaller, way smaller. And look at how this works in real life. Your big goal is to get fit? Forget the marathon. Your first step is just 5 minutes of movement. You want to change careers? Don't worry about the whole resume today. Just read one single page about a new field. The whole idea is to make the first step so tiny, so easy, that it feels kind of ridiculous not to do it. And here's the psychology behind why this is so powerful. We always wait to feel motivated to get started, but this idea flips that script completely. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Every single tiny step you take is a small win that gives you the fuel for the next one. It's an amazing feedback loop. Now, when you start consistently taking those small steps, something incredible starts to happen. It leads us right into pillar 3, build self-trust. So if structure is the blueprint and small steps are the bricks, self-trust, well, that's the solid ground you're building everything on. When there's nobody else around to cheer you on, you have to be your own biggest fan. And self-trust is really just that. It's knowing that you can count on yourself. It's that inner confidence that you're going to show up even when it's tough and that you won't just give up on your goals or on yourself the second you hit a roadblock. And you don't build this trust with some big, grand gesture. You build it with a super simple, repeatable loop. Step 1, make a tiny promise to yourself, something you know you can do, like, I'll write 1 sentence in my journal. Step 2, you do it. You keep the promise. Step 3, and this is so important, you acknowledge it. Just a little mental high five. Hey, I did the thing. And every time you repeat that cycle, you're basically proving to your own brain, hey, I can rely on me. Okay, so you've got your structure, your self-trust is growing. Now you're ready for pillar 4, leverage free knowledge. Because here's the thing, being on your own doesn't mean you have to figure everything out from scratch. There is a gigantic toolkit just waiting for you. This pillar helps us get over a huge mental hurdle. We often think, oh, I need a mentor to guide me. But what you really need are models and information, and that guidance is everywhere. It's in free online courses, articles, forums, even AI tools that can help you think things through. The knowledge is out there. You just have to grab it. So you're building your structure, taking small steps, learning as you go. But how do you stay motivated for the long haul? Well, that's the job of our 5th and final pillar. Document your progress. This is how you make all your hard work visible to the most important person on your team, you. And this is why it's so incredibly powerful. Day to day, progress made from tiny steps can feel invisible. You might feel like you're not going anywhere at all. But when you keep a simple log, wrote one sentence, took a 5-minute walk, and then you look back after a week or a month, you see this incredible timeline of effort. It's the undeniable proof that you are, in fact, moving forward.
The real magic, though, is how these 5 pillars all lock together to create a complete system. You create the structure. You take small steps inside it. You build self-trust by keeping those tiny promises. You use free knowledge to light the way, and you document your progress to prove to yourself that it's all working. It is a complete roadmap for making things happen on your own.
At the end of the day, making progress on your own is a lot like writing a story. Nobody else can write it for you. This framework, it gives you the grammar, the vocabulary, the whole structure. So the only real question left is the one right there on your screen. Your progress is a story only you can write. What's your first sentence going to be?